just want to make sure it's recording. Yeah, I can do.
Like 25 minutes. All right. Let's do it. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So, hey Marie, how you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Doing fantastic. Thank you so much for coming down again. It's great seeing you again. Before we get started and get right back into what we have planned today, I just wanted to ask, how are things going on at home?
To be honest, I'm just feeling so overwhelmed. I just feel like I need childcare for my 2 kids. I am constantly fighting with my husband. I'm just having a really, really hard time because I feel extremely overwhelmed and like I never have time for myself, and it's just really, really hard. And I feel like I've completely given up on myself and my self-image. You know, I used to be so cute when I was younger, and now I just don't even care to get dressed in the morning. I just walk around in my pajama pants, which sounds silly, but it's just, I just have never felt worse. And I just like want to stay in the house because I don't want to see people. I don't want people to see me. I'm so overweight and I just feel horrible. Yeah.
You said a lot there, and I think I really love to explore.
Yeah, sorry.
No, no.
Sorry to unload on you like that.
That's totally fine, and that's what I'm here for, is for you to help kind of unload and kind of feedback on you. Okay, we'll definitely talk about that. Okay, before we get to that, setting our agenda, I would love to see that thought diary I sent home with you last week.
Yes.
Some more homework, so can I see what you got there?
Yes, I filled it out. Tried to do my best with what I thought I need to do. So.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate it. I really do. Definitely gives you some insight onto what goes on in your daily life. So here on Monday, it says our situation that we're having issues with was waking up and having to take kids to school. Some of the thoughts you're feeling, there was no energy. We want to go back to bed. You felt hopeless and unmotivated. Our feelings that we were feeling at the time were depressed, which you rated at 8, but guilt at 10, which is extremely high. But you did have some alternative thoughts, which is nice. These did help you out in the moment, to kind of get you going. Is that right? Okay, great. And they were, I can do this, and now my kids will appreciate me trying, which is very nice thoughts. Fantastic. And you felt gratitude and you felt accomplished after you did it, which is fantastic. You should. It is hard. You have 2 kids, and your husband works all the time. So absolutely, you should totally feel these feelings. On Tuesday, you were eating during the day, and you felt that you wanted to eat everything to make you feel better. Of course, you felt depressed and shame, both rated at 10, and you felt that also the alternative thoughts you felt was that you need to eat to feel better emotionally, which you're absolutely right. You don't need to feel better emotionally. I think we'll talk about that a little later. Okay. Able to have income after that, which is fantastic. During this time, did you stop eating, or did you have these thoughts after you had already finished eating, or what was that about?
Unfortunately, I did not stop eating.
Okay.
Yeah. So obviously I'd like to sit here and tell you that I did, because that's my ultimate goal, is to, get control over myself and my craziness with food. I just feel like in the moment, like I can't stop because I just am so emotional, and food just makes me feel better.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And definitely for a lot of people, food is very it's calming, especially for me as well. I struggle with that sometimes, so it totally makes sense. And I think we'll talk about that later. On Wednesday, again, we're going back to eating at night. You felt that you're stressed out, and that you're too overwhelmed, and then you wanted to eat. Again, you're shamed, but you also brought a new word up, like you're a failure, and that you're depressed. But you did come back, you did say that everything's going to be okay, and that you will be okay, and you felt calm and peace, which is fantastic. You said that you're a failure. What do you mean by that? That you've had feelings of that failing. What is that about?
I just feel like I am just failing as a mom, because I look at other moms and I see that they have everything together on social media, everything looks perfect, and I just look at my life and feel like I'm nothing like that. Like I can't even do anything right, it feels like. And I just feel like I want to be doing so much more, and I am just not there. So I just feel like I'm failing, especially when I do emotionally eat like that. Like after I eat and while I'm eating, I'm just feeling like this is not what I'm supposed to be doing, and then I just feel worse
Gotcha.
after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. We'll talk about that later, okay? But I just want to assure you that I don't feel like you're failing as a mother or anything like that. I think you're doing just as well as you can be. We'll talk about it during our agenda though. Okay. On Thursday, you said that you were sitting at the kitchen table and you felt that you just never have time or money for yourself. You said you had feelings of failure and hopelessness again. Again, probably going back to that failure as a mother, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the hopelessness was, what was that about?
It's just feeling like did I write that I never have time for myself? Is that
Yeah.
Yeah, it just feels like nothing's ever gonna change because the situation with my husband and my family, our current situation, it just feels like Groundhog's Day. It feels like I wake up every day and every day is the same and nothing ever changes. It's the same story, the same ranting to my husband, and it's in one ear, out the other. He never listens to me. And yeah, so I just feel hopeless, like nothing's gonna ever change.
I'm sorry, yeah. But you did come back though, you just said that you did deserve time to yourself and can't find it. Can you tell me how you can find it?
And that is what I want to work on
Sure.
with you, because I know that like I can find it, but I'm having trouble actually like taking action and going through things. So
Gotcha.
I you know, at least I recognize that it's
Yeah,
there.
absolutely.
I think that's a good step.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can get closer to actually making changes here, because that's what I really want. So.
And that's great to hear that you want to make that change. I can definitely help you out. We can at least take steps to make those changes, which is great. And of course, after you have that thought, you felt accomplished and happy. On Friday, you said you were watching your kids and that you felt overwhelmed watching them and you were having feelings of stress and anxiety. Of course, we had, in our previous session, you had told me that you were having feelings of like stress, you know, burdens of being a mother and all that. But actual anxiety, I don't think that's ever come up. So do you mind explaining a little bit where that anxiety is coming from? Or
Yeah, I think doing this worksheet like actually helped me recognize it more than before, that they are like I am having big feelings of anxiety whenever I'm actually watching my kids, because I have a couple of older kids and usually I just give them to them. I give them to babysitters because I cannot handle my children, which I realized. And every time I am left alone with them, I'm super stressed out. It's too overwhelming because they're 5 and 2, so they're running around all over the place, and I just feel like, oh my gosh, like I could do this when I was 25, but I can't do this anymore. So yeah, I just feel very anxious.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Well, thank you for sharing. I definitely appreciate that. Again, going back to that, the helpful thoughts that you can get, you can find. But again, as you said before, you just have to actually take that step to go find it, right? I think that's something we're gonna focus on a little bit today.
Okay.
Just going for the help first, and we're actually getting to that.
Yeah.
The bad feelings.
Okay.
So, great. And of course, after that, you're feeling positive, which is fantastic. All right, 2 more, okay? So on Saturday, you were driving with your children, and you said that some of the negative thoughts you were feeling was that you feel like it's the same day over and over again. You didn't say that before. It kind of feels like Groundhog Day, you know,
Yeah.
same issues over and over again.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And you're feeling sadness, and you're feeling some hopelessness. Gotcha. And you said, again, I can get help if I look for it, which is good thoughts. These are very good thoughts. Again, just trying to get to that point where you do go for that help without feeling bad.
Yeah.
And then you felt, again, happy. Then the last one, you were again eating during the day. You said that you were feeling overwhelmed, so you're going to eat. Okay. And then you actually had probably the most amount of feelings on this day. You were feeling a lot of anxiety, stress, shame, and depression, all of those on at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Do you mind explaining kind of what's going on in that?
Yeah,
It seems like a rough day.
so Sundays are usually really challenging for me because Sunday, you know, I take my family to church and then we're home for the rest of the day.
Sure.
And we don't really do anything or go anywhere. My husband comes home and takes a huge nap, and I just have to, honestly, the house kind of falls apart. The kids just do whatever they want that day. And I think I wrote down that, yeah, I just like ate in the middle of the day. I wasn't even hungry, and I was just bored and had all these feelings of sadness, and I just felt super down and depressed, and yeah, it was not a good day for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then going back to our alternative happy thoughts, it was I can talk to someone for help instead of eating. Who do you have to help? Who's kind of in your support system? We haven't really talked about that actually much.
Yeah. Do you want me to answer that?
Sure.
I'm just trying to think because, I had a lot of good friends. Like, I'd say a year ago, 2 years ago, I kind of retracted from, I had a big group at church of women and moms that I was super close with, and now I really don't talk to any of them just because I don't want to be seen, I don't want people to see me. But somebody that I do talk to is like my sister.
Sure.
Yeah. I have 2 sisters that I can call on the phone. They don't live near me, but they're really good at listening and stuff. Yeah.
That's good. Well, I'll go ahead and finish up our homework review at the moment.
Okay.
Before we move on though, I'd love to set an agenda with you, just some things we're going to talk about. I'll set something and then you'll go ahead and set something. We'll go back and forth maybe 2 or 3 times, okay? One of the things I really heard from you during this our homework review was that anxiety and kind of hopelessness that you're feeling both with your kids and with your husband and while eating. I'd really love to talk a little more about that. What would you like to add on to our chapter?
Yeah, I would love to discuss the eating too. I just want to discuss like how unhappy I am with my body, and I just want to find a place. I've been trying to go on a diet for years, and I'm just so overweight and in such a bad place, but I constantly, every day I wake up and I want to get healthier and be better. So if we could address that,
absolutely.
Go into that would be great. And also just the frustrations I have with my husband, and then as well as talk about like my 2 kids. I would love to get them childcare because I just feel like I have 0 time to myself.
Sure.
And yeah, my whole day is just taken up by my kids, and I don't even have like a second to breathe.
Gotcha. Okay. I feel like that is going to go well actually with something. So when we talk about, people want to talk about your support system, maybe some ways you can go ahead and reach out to other people,
Okay.
Get you a little more active in your community. Because it seems, talk about that in a second, okay? Before I actually go too deep into it.
Yeah.
Well, fantastic. Well, great. Well, why don't we actually talk about the support system now? Since we're already here. You were talking about the gals at church that you used to hang out with a lot, used to talk, and you felt like you didn't want to feel seen by them. Is that what you said? What is that about?
I really am just so unhappy with the way that I look, and I feel like they knew me before as somebody different, somebody happier, in better shape, took better care of themselves, and now I just feel like I've completely fell apart, and so I just want to hide from the world. I don't want anybody to see me, and it honestly is easier to retract socially from them and keep to myself, just see my kids and stay in the 4 walls of my house. I'm completely fine with that, but at the same time I feel so lonely. I miss my friends, and in the moment I think it feels good to not see people because it's my way of like avoiding going out and being social, but then in the end it just hurts me even more because I'm just not living life. I'm just staying in my house and living on the sidelines, it feels like.
Sure.
Yeah.
And what I'm hearing is that a lot of your behaviors that we're seeing, the overeating, the feeling anxiety, the giving away your kids to the older ones, so you can kind of you can have some time off. It's a lot of avoided behaviors. The retracting, you might go to church, but you're going to stay away from everybody, you might feel the anxiety, but not actually, what's the word, meeting those anxieties and stresses, you kind of just eat. So I think I'll assign you some homework at the end to kind of challenge some of those thoughts that we're having, okay? Because I feel like it starts with those thoughts at the beginning and then react in kind of a negative way. And I feel like that's kind of hurting you a little bit.
Okay.
Because I feel like this social support system could be really valuable to you.
Okay.
And it could be really valuable to your family.
Okay.
But we just have to get that first.
Okay.
These and what you said before, that like you don't want to be seen, you kind of feel like, you know, they knew you as a certain kind of person. You know, is that really true? Is like, have you actually talked to them since you say that you kind of fallen apart?
Yeah.
You know, when you're in front of me, I don't see a fallen apart person. I see a person that's kind of down a little bit maybe, or that's having a hard time. But have you actually talked to them before? You know, while you're kind of in what you call a fallen state or broken down state?
I haven't. It's just obvious because of the way I look and the way I feel on the inside. Maybe they're not thinking it. I think that they're thinking it though. And so I am so self-conscious and just a mess, and I'm so embarrassed. I don't want people to see me as this person who's just like, oh, look what happened to her. And so I'm just staying in and avoiding all my friends. But it's sad because I'm missing birthday parties and events, you know, like for their kids, and our kids used to be close, and now because of their mom, like I can't even go out and, you know, set up a play date because I'm embarrassed. And then I feel like so many feelings of like guilt and shame as well from that. So yeah, I just feel like I'm in this like downward spiral that I just can't get out of, and it's just like so hard.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Again, you did say a lot there, but one of the big themes that we're seeing, I think, through all this is just that theme of avoidance. Trying to avoid your issues. I really do feel like I can assure you that those feelings that you have in your head it's probably not what's actually happening. Okay, the feeling of like I'm broken down, I don't want them to see me like this. You know, they might be thinking these certain thoughts. You know, is that really true? I know you said that you actually when you were talking that like, you know, they might not be thinking it, but I'm thinking it. So then I'm going to avoid. But I think you and I both know that's not probably the healthiest way to deal with that situation. And it's definitely, again, like you said, they might not be thinking that at all. That's everything that's happening in here. So I think at this point you do have to kind of take the step out, you know, and reach for the help, and reach out to them. And again, like you said, you have a feeling of shame, guilt, depression, because you're not able to go out and socialize, not only for yourself but also for your children. You know, so I think that's something we can discuss in some of the homework.
Yeah, that just feels really scary to me. I don't know if like I'm ready to do that. I don't like if I'm being honest, you know, because I want to, but I'm really scared.
Maybe we can take some baby steps.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do a little bit. Do you actually have any of the gals like phone numbers, home phone, anything like that?
Yeah, I have all their numbers on my phone. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, here, I don't know, a little early on my signing homework, but just so I don't forget, how about we try and reach out to one or two of them? You know, just a quick like, hey, I just want to reach out, see how you're doing, just so we can kind of reconnect with them.
Okay.
Do you think that is something we can do?
Yeah, I think I could try it with one girl that I feel pretty comfortable with.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I'll hold you to that, okay, next time I see you.
Okay.
Okay, fantastic. I think I'm okay with that. We'll move on to what you wanted to talk to, some stuff about your body image. There's one thing that did stand out to me. You said that you're on social media and you see all these women, you know, they have these like very nice lives, they can travel, you know, they have themselves, you know, they seem really put together. Why don't you mind talking a little more about that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't follow too many people because I am older, but I do follow a lot of, you know, the people from church and stuff, and especially like in the church culture, that the church I go to, it's just like pushing perfectionism, it feels like. And I just feel like I am so far from right now there where I can even think about putting an effort into myself. And I just feel like I am the worst, and like the worst mom, the worst person. I feel ugly. I just feel like I have no control, and I don't even know where to start to change. I just feel like horrible. And yeah, when I go on my phone and I go on Instagram and see this person went to this country with their 5 kids, and I'm like, what am I doing? And I never feel like I'm doing enough as a mom.
Gotcha. You said something really interesting. You said that you felt like these people that feel are pushing perfectionism. I just want to ask you, they might be giving off the vibe or the illusion of pushing perfectionism, but do you really believe that these people are perfect?
That's a really good point, actually, because I think that, I think social media, like, I know it's fake, it's like obviously curated, so maybe, like, you're right, like, their lives probably aren't perfect, I hadn't really thought about that, because sometimes I just look at the picture and I think that's what it is,
And going back to the gals you hang out with, do you feel like their lives are perfect as well?
It seems like it. Like, maybe they're not, but I don't see anything wrong with their lives, because every time I see them, it's like, oh, everything's happy and perfect,
So we're kind of going back to that, the church pushing that perfectionist.
Yeah, and I'm just not there, and so I just don't even go. I just avoid it because I feel like I don't measure up.
Do you feel like they might be under some pressure as well? Like you're feeling to kind of put on like a perfect persona?
Yes, and I don't think that I can give 100% of that, so I just don't go. Yeah, because I feel like, to me it's 100% or nothing, and I don't even want to deal with it.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And we were talking about earlier that you were thinking about going on a diet, or that you had tried the diet, but what happened with that?
Oh, I've been dieting for so long. It's just always, it lasts for like 3 days, and then I just completely fall off. And I don't even think that I eat that many sweets, but I don't know. I try to be perfect, and then I just give up.
Again, it's really interesting going back to that idea of being perfect. I don't think anybody is perfect, even in a diet. That's very difficult to do, and especially as a person that has a lot of stress and anxiety and has a lot of responsibility. Even myself as a person who's a professional, it's like I do have a lot of responsibility, and I'm not perfect. It's almost impossible to be perfect. And I feel like that's something that maybe we need to visit in the long run over a certain amount of sessions, that you don't have to be a perfect person to be a good person. And I think that's something that you need to understand as well.
Yeah.
You can still be a good mom without being a perfect mom. You can still be a good churchgoer without being the perfect churchgoer, even though that might be the illusion or the image that they might want to push them, that even you might want to push. But even as you see, it's so difficult, to even push that. It's so exhausting.
Yeah, it is exhausting. It's just like, I just feel exhausted, and I feel like I overwork myself. Like, I have all these tasks, and I'm like, I never have enough time in the day, but then my personality is that I just want to get everything done, and I can't relax until I get everything done.
Sure.
And so I either get everything done, or I just don't do any of it and just avoid.
Sure.
So, yeah.
So I think we can make a change there.
Okay.
Instead of what we can call pushing perfect, we should be doing something else. We can call it pushing good.
Okay.
Let's just push it's good enough for now. Because you do have a lot of responsibilities, you do have a lot of things you have to take care of.
Okay.
So when you make that list of errands, things you have to do, mark off half. You're not even gonna do it until you do the other half. Once you do that first half, then you can look at the second half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That stresses me out.
I know it's stressful.
Okay.
I know that can be stressful, okay?
Okay.
But you can just do that first half, and if the first half doesn't get done, then it's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Then the
Okay.
second half is still there. Okay. To do later at a different date. Okay.
Oh, but I feel like I can't even go to bed until everything is done, or else I can't relax. I cannot relax.
Okay. Then how about this, okay? Maybe instead of doing just a one half, second half, how about you only look at half. So you don't even make that second half focus. You only set your sights on half the things you do.
Okay.
Do those things, okay? And you take the rest of the time to relax. Because guess what?
Okay.
The second half is gonna be them.
Okay. Okay.
Is that something you think you can do?
I mean, yeah, I could try it. And I think that's a good idea to try because, you know, nothing's worked. So
Yeah.
I'll try it.
Yeah. And then hopefully with some extra time, you know, you'll be able to work on topics, you know, maybe communicate with your husband a little better, you know, spend more time with your kids. I know you do have some anxiety. Unfortunately, we are coming towards the end of our session. We didn't get to your husband, so I think we're going to go ahead and get that to a different date, okay?
Okay, I would love to talk about that next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I think we did some great things together. I think, you know, we're definitely on the right path. There are some things I do want to assign you as you leave here, okay? Here's a worksheet for automatic thoughts and as well for countering anxious thoughts as well. I think one of the things here that I really want to push for is getting ahead of our bad behaviors or our negative behaviors that we're doing. So overeating, you know, a lot of that is caused by your anxiety and the stress that you're feeling. So once you start feeling those negative thoughts and you start feeling like, okay, I need to eat, take a breath, go ahead and fill one of these out. Or if you're, you know, you're going to church, you walk in, you're like I want to talk to these ladies. Okay, hold on, like, you know, I need to pull back. You know, I need to stop. You know, and leave. Go ahead, just pull this out really fast. Read it over. Actually, think about what you're feeling. Think about what you're thinking, and then you can make a better decision. Hopefully, you can kind of take that step forward to, you know, socialize a little better and not feel so terrible about yourself. Because remember, you know, I don't think our goal for here is to push perfectionism. I think our goal here is to push for good, or at least push for like good enough. You know, and I feel like that's definitely where we need to be in the future.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for these. I think I'm gonna try this because this sounds great. This will probably help. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Okay. So am I next week?
Yeah,
again?
next week, same time. Is that okay?
Yes, that
Okay.
sounds good.
All right, perfect.
Okay,
Thank you, Marie.
thank
I'll see you
you.
next time.
Do you want to shut it off?
I got it.
Yeah. It's 27.
That's good.